Hi Virgo, how you doing? Okay, we're here today to take a look at your general life, whatever spirit is moved to talk about in the Virgo life, whatever this leads us to. I've been concentrating and meditating away, Virgo, and now I think we're just about ready to see what we're being dealt here. I will be using the complete deck. After this reading, you can check out my Vimeo channel and check out your love reading. You want to look into that. Otherwise, they're spilling all over, but I think they came out like this. We're going to take this as the top, okay? That's the way I'm being told to do it. First, we're going to go 6 down, 7 down. 1. Temperance, the Knight of Wands, King of Swords, the 7 of Swords, the 8 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, and the Chariot. Right in the center, we have this 7 of Wands. Or 7 of Swords. This talks about deception. It can talk about someone stealing, taking something from you. You can talk about packing up quickly and moving away. But there's a nature of a little bit of sneakiness with the 7 of Swords. Let's see what we've got here, though, developing. First, we've got Temperance, Knight of Wands together. There is a deep desire for accomplishment here, but it's something that goes even deeper than just an ordinary accomplishment. There's something really grand about what I'm getting here out of this situation. So I almost feel like this might be connected to a partnership. We do have a King of Swords here. King of Swords can very much represent a mature male, but he's normally a judge, a lawyer, a businessman, a tycoon. But normally he's terribly economical with his words. He doesn't mince words. He's very clear in his judgment. But there's a bit of backhandedness around him. So on one hand, I feel very much it's a two-sided story. We have someone in a partnership who has great desire, great passion, great drive. And on the other hand, we have someone who is kind of a liar, deceiver, someone who can't really be trusted around major decisions. Maybe they can't be trusted around money. But it feels like there has been, or there will be, a very sudden revelation around this King of Swords individual coming to you, Virgo. It's sort of a wake-up call. It's sort of the message that's saying this might be a good time to move forward with your plans. And maybe you have to decide to leave a struggle behind. Maybe it's a job. It'd be a housing situation. But it feels very much to me that there's a real desire maybe to move on from a situation where there's been some lies, some deceptions, but there's a very rushed feeling to move away from whatever anxiety you've been experiencing, Virgo. We'll take another 7 down. The Fool. Taking a chance. The 6 of Pentacles. The World. The Justice card. and the Two of Wands, the Devil, and the Ten of Wands. Like I said, I don't think that this is really dealing with anybody that maybe you are dealing with someone that has some substance abuse. That's possible here. They're behaving maybe very uncharacteristic of their normal behavior, and that I really don't see that here. It's just a message coming through. You're willing to take a chance on yourself, actually. I think you're finding a balance within. You feel actually quite vindicated in the moving away. And the choices that you make, they feel very much that there is vindication for you on a very personal level. Moving away from a situation where there's been some deception, some lies, maybe some cheating, and now maybe you feel like there's a need to seriously choose a path and move forward away from a negative energy, a negative person, a negative force that has caused some real distraction, maybe a feeling of being weighed down by maybe negative feelings, negative thinking. Maybe someone around you has a bad attitude, but it feels like there's something around you that's really been on your mind, that's really weighed you down. It's around a deception or a devious act by another, but you're making changes in your life and you're moving forward on your own steam. Feels very much you're getting the things that you want on your own. Very much feeling balanced, very harmonious feeling within, and very much justified after there has been some injustice done to you. So you're moving away, some of you. You're ending a situation. Inner strength, definitely, because it's been keeping you tied up maybe in knots. Some of you have been going through serious feelings of depression over this ending. Maybe you've had sleepless nights. Maybe the indecision about how to move on has kept you in a feeling of a bit of mental struggle. But we know that vindication is coming because we not only have the Tower, which is one transformation, but we also have the Death card, which is another complete transformation. This is a rebirth. This is renewal. Old situations coming to an end so that we can rebuild from a fairly decent foundation. This foundation in this card is really solid if you look at it. So you're dealing, Virgo, on a very personal level, especially next to the moon. It talks about you personally, deeply, who you are at your innermost self. And so you're changing, you're going through changes, and the changes come through that inner strength. Okay, so you're finding out maybe how you really work, how your mind works, how your head, your heart, your soul, how those things all work together. And the Nine of Swords is coming out of that feeling, that lost kind of mental feeling. Next to the Eight of Cups, you're definitely coming out of a time where there's been maybe a mental anguish, but emotional anguish along with it. And you're moving away from the situation where, possibly you had some success. Maybe there was an element of success in whatever this was that you were doing. but you've had to walk away from it. But with the walking away also comes a rebirth, a transformation that maybe you really don't feel just yet, but I see it coming. We have the Seven of Cups, the High Priestess, definitely the Lovers. Now, this is where we take the Lovers card out and put it off to the side. That we're holding for our love reading. But we know at about this point in the reading, you're going to start feeling something incredibly emotional. It comes through this inner strength. Being aligned with a person who have been cruel and stepping out into the world with strength as a more positive individual, as a more positive element in the world. The Five of Swords, the struggle connected to that. The Six of Cups, the Hierophant, the Star, and the Ace of Swords. So I think you've probably been in a state of decision, weighing your options, looking at things. Where is the most satisfaction going to be for you moving forward in whatever the situation is? Now we have the High Priestess under the Tower, which says that because you used your inner knowing, your instinct, your intellect, that divine sense of common sense that we know Virgos possess, you've decided to change path, because she will change her direction through her own inner wisdom. She knows where to change path, what path to take. After a time of conflict, of struggle, it's usually an inner struggle. That's clear here, that there's been inner struggle, but there's a knowing, an inner knowing that brings you out of this place of confusion around the Seven of Cups. Now, you be dealing very much with a situation from the past. And the past may be a long-standing partnership of some kind, because I do think that this be a situation that has gone back for a period of time. You have been dealing with this person's delusions, maybe, or this person's ability to maybe blindly steal, and it hadn't been seen for a period of time. Some have actually been physically abusing a contract that at one time brought you great satisfaction, because I really feel there's a sense of accomplishment in what it was that you were doing, but there was an interference somewhere. Either somebody was stealing from you, maybe your ideas, your concepts, your work, your money, whatever it was, there's a deception going on here for Virgo. Now, we have the Ace of Swords next to the Star, which is next to this contract. It's the Hierophant. To me, it's any kind of agreement. But this agreement came with a disappointment. Changes need to be made, because he's in alignment with the Two of Wands and the Eight of Wands. So this is like saying that changes are going to have to be made, maybe even quickly. Around, I'm thinking, the end of a friendship or a partnership. I don't really see that it's an end of a marriage, although it could be. But we're asked here, next to the Star, to apply whatever it is that you're wanting out of the situation and take a new way of looking at it. Recalculate how you are envisioning your life, because through what I think may be some slight adjustments with the rebirth and the Tower going on, you could actually rebuild what it is that you're doing so much that you love, but let go of the elements that have been faulty, the elements that have not worked for you, whether it's concepts, whether it's methods, whether it's people. Something that you had hopes on as being a useful element, person, tool, whatever it is, you can eliminate that and still carry on possibly with what it is that you're working on. The 10 of Cups, complete satisfaction, judgment, the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands, the 9 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, and the 4 of Wands. So we're talking about really making changes based on what it is that you visualize. This is about your vision, your concept, your reality. How do you see this situation developing? What judgments are you going to make based on you and based on spirit? What your spirit advice is telling you to do. What is it that you are being told is the right way forward? What do you need to bend to? What do you need to give up the fight on? And what do you need to move forward to? Because whatever you're developing here, whatever judgments, concepts bring you satisfaction during this time will actually bring you to a much more satisfied place, a much happier place in life. We've got the King of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the 8 of Swords, the 4 of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Magician, and the Knight of Cups. Well, somebody is really developing something unusual, incredibly powerful, I think. But you're holding this development very close to your chest. Look at how close this guy is holding his ideas to him. And here, you're blocking yourself off mentally from any interference that might interrupt you, that might get in your way. You're very much seeking this huge development that's going to bring you to a place of great physical satisfaction in a very material sense. That action is absolutely coming. You'll have clarity. Honestly, this says you're going to have clarity. The 8 of Swords tells me you're kind of building up a resistance to interference, and you're keeping whatever it is that you're wanting to develop or you're considering developing here. You're keeping it very much close to you because you know it's a valuable idea and it's bringing you much closer to what it is that you're wanting to manifest out of life, both on an emotional level and on a mental level. The Magician works very closely with the tools that are at hand, with the opportunities that are at hand. But he also works very secretively. He is very much about keeping certain things to himself. And whatever Virgo is working on, if this is talking about you, your sun, moon, or rising, you're keeping some of your developments very close to you. And you're not exposing a whole lot yet. Maybe a little at a time. You might show things that you're satisfied with, that you're happy with. You share some of those things. But for the most part, you know it's valuable. And you're not letting go of the information just yet. The 3 of Swords, that's because someone has betrayed you. This is, I feel, very much for someone. We're talking, for some of you, on a business level. This is very much talking to me about someone who was deceptive in business practices and maybe had hurt you incredibly bad. The Hangman, the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. So what we're looking at here is, again, it's connected to you keeping so much of these incredibly stimulating developments to yourself, holding back, not, like I said, not exposing your hand really, not showing people what it is that you're doing. What you're developing is very close to not only your heart, you're putting your heart and soul into this thing, but you're using a lot of your third eye to develop. You're using a lot of your inner stimulus to develop whatever this is. A lot of this creativity comes from the deepest part of you. And sometimes it's a place that only you know. That it's only a place that you see within yourself. It isn't something that you expose to people. This very deep kind of creative side of yourself. You don't really like to show people. Again, I'm getting you're not wanting to show people this valuable thing that you're developing. You're turning a blind eye on the snoopers. You're keeping the peepers out, which is probably good if you're working on something that you know is going to be positive, you know can change things for not only you, but for a lot of people, I feel. You're more worried about the loss that you felt in the past right now. You're very much emotionally caught up in the feeling of a loss because the betrayal for some of you is really fresh. But this new beginning for you is really... it may have been challenging at one time, but you have a brand new way of looking at what it is that you're developing, and you feel very strong with what you're doing. The Queen of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups. This is very strong, guys. The Seven of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Well, you're giving up the shit that just wasn't working for you, frankly, Virgo. You're really reaching out for something so much bigger. You're striving for a sense of financial independence. You're on the right road for that because you have the Ace of Pentacles here. This is the strength with moving forward. The Ten of Swords in alignment here tells me you're at the end of the road of the things that have been a disappointment. You're even at the place where you want to start showing people what it is that you're developing, because you're going to expose something to someone in a very big, very important way. If this is talking about your financial success, a project that Virgos are working on that is going to bring them out of a place of secrecy and out of a place of emotional trauma, there's a brand new beginning, and you're going to present this to the right person at the right time. The Two of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, more Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. So this to me is talking about you being at peace with what it is that you're doing here, with this choice that you're making, with this thing that you've developed, this drive that you have, moving you forward, frankly, after a time of real questionable financial timing. But you're coming out of that. The Page of Pentacles says that these plans, these ideas are coming forth, especially with this Six of Swords here. That's removing you from a time of struggle into a time of peace, harmony, a very still, peaceful life. Balance, yes. Harmony, yes. The Page of Swords, though, can be issues with communication. And that may be where I'm feeling, if you're going to have issues in the situation, this is saying pay close attention to your communications, especially around your finances, because at this point, you're probably looking at the situation and examining it. Do I have enough here? Do I have a solid enough foundation with what I'm trying to build here in order to bring the happiness in my life that I'm looking to bring forth, that I'm looking to move forward on and come out of this time of maybe some questionable financial situation. But with this new idea coming forth and the message that this idea, this concept, whatever it is that you're developing here, is going to be delivered to the right person at the right time. And so even though you have some issues around money, how you're sustaining at this time, I think that even though you've been down a little bit financially, I think there's a sense of balance. You're going to be questioning, do I have enough to move forward? But I do see forward movement. And maybe the Page of Pentacles brings financial support from another means. We have the Empress. It's a very creative thing that you're doing. The Four of Swords, the Page of Cups, the Page of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Three of Wands. Well, I do see you may have financial support here from someone, but I think it's almost a family member or someone close to you, because he comes through as the King of Cups. So if you're looking for financial support, financial, because the Eight of Pentacles says that you're developing correctly and the financial support will be there. It comes in through this King of Cups. It brings you to a place of growth, though. Now, the King of Cups, like I said, it can be a father figure. He can be just a very generous benefactor who wants to invest in what I think is for somebody an incredibly brilliant idea, very creative, and I almost think it has something to do in the health field, because we have the Four of Swords. So I think this idea for some of you be health related. And the Page of Cups says that people are going to love this concept, whatever it is that you're developing here. For whoever it is, that it's a natural, thank you. It's a natural It's something connected to nature, but it's for health purposes. Very gentle on the system. This is weird. Very gentle on the system. And someone is going to see the promise in this. And I almost see somebody on Shark Tank. This is like Mark Cuban or somebody, but I see someone going on a show like Shark Tank and exposing this beautiful concept on someone who says, yes, I want a piece of this. So I see whatever you're developing here is really very positive, Virgo. Now, the last of your cards, the Emperor. What did I tell you? Somebody is going to end up on Shark Tank. The Sun. The Two of Cups. The ideal partnership. The Four of Cups. Somebody isn't going to be happy with an offer. But that brings you to an even better offer, which tells me that whatever it is that you're doing here is also going to go with a good share of offers, possibilities coming your way. The Queen of Cups. Now, if I had to say that one of my Virgos is going on Shark Tank, one of you guys end up doing a deal with one of the women on the panel. Either that, or this is an idea, a concept that is for women. Now, the blindfolded choice. So whether you're doing this on a small scale and presenting your idea to a local businessman or a local banker, the support will be there if the idea is righteous. And for you, whoever this is for, the Emperor, the Sun, the Two of Cups all together say that this is going to be a great partnership, both on a financial level, but on a bigger scale. Someone is going to make a beautiful business deal coming up in the month of February, going in and absolutely beyond. If this is an offer that is accepted, I think it's either around women's issues or it is through one of the women within your local bank. I see this as support, but I also see the King of Cups as support, but it's very loving support. So it's going to be somebody of a very nurturing side who decides to help you with this growth potential. But here's the real issue for you at this time, Virgo, is what path do you choose? What choice do you make? It's going to be the right choice. Whichever one you make, whatever is right for you is technically what's right. So this is you choosing the direction you want to go, accepting the offer that comes your way. It's all up to you. It's all about you, and it's all up to you. And that's the message I've got for you here. Now, this was not about love. This was definitely rooted in something more general, definitely success-driven, definitely about money. Now, I'm going to go over to Vimeo right now, and I'm going to take a look at the lovers and see what your love life might look like coming up during this time period. So, Virgo, if you want a reading meant just for you, reach out to me at my Weebly link. I leave the link down below. Also, reach out to me at my Vimeo channel for love readings, energy readings, all kinds of stuff going on over there. Go take a look. I leave the link for that here too. Comment section is closed. Haters, stay away. I don't want you here, and I don't want you touching subs. So reach out to me if need be directly to me at my website if you want to discuss something. I try to get to all my letters. It's extremely hard. You guys keep me very busy, And that I do appreciate so much. And until the next time, Virgo, please take care of yourself. Take care of one another, and peace.